Good day, Leopard fans. Hey guys, Rohan here, bringing you the next edition of the Rock Brigade series. I know this is not exactly an album, it's the definitive visual history book, coffee table book, which Leopard had kind of put out a few years back. A lot of guys have been asking me to sort of do a review on this, and after much consideration, I thought, okay, why not? So, just to get to it, I think it's definitely something you should have as part of your collection. It's got some awesome photographs, a whole bunch of stuff taken by Ross Halfin, and you guys may remember him because he's a guy who's seen Def Leppard since their inception. He's a world famous photographer for rock and metal. Worked with such bands as The Who, Iron Maiden, Metallica, and so on, just to name a few. So he's really the go-to guy who captures, some of the best and most iconic pictures from all things metal and all things rock. So what's really great is that he put together this book along with the Leopard guys, and what we've essentially got here is a visual treat of so many eras of the band, starting with, from the early part of when the EP was about to release, till all the way through till songs from the Sparkle Lounge. It's got a whole bunch of interesting stuff. So do forgive me if I'm sort of skipping through this a little quickly. Just trying to, well, there we go. There's a bit of a pick icon for you guys. I just want to give you sort of a visual, sort of a taste as to sort of say that, this is what it's really all about. And you can see for yourself here that it captures something interesting like On Through the Night, some of the early sleeve stuff as well. And, just the early part of when the band began, and you can sort of see Pete hidden away in the fold over there for some reason. But all in all, it captures something really interesting and very unique at different points of when the band was starting off and when they were doing things. So you can obviously see them when they were about to hit the States and what exactly they looked like. Joe obviously had this long, curly, dark hair, of course. Nothing like the blonde hair that he has now. So they've obviously gone through some image changes, but all in all, it just kind of gives you something really interesting to look at and take through. The famous iconic photograph from Pyromania, which many of you guys might recognize. Also, different points of when the band was on stage and so on. And I think what was really nice is that what Ross kind of captured out here was the raw energy of the band, throughout its history, all the different eras of when it was actually playing and so on. And when you come towards when near the Hysteria section, you'll realize that this is one of the most iconic pictures because this was at Donington where Rick Allen finally made his grand appearance again as a solo drummer. And by solo, I mean that when he was just sort of getting back into the band, they actually had another drummer from Status Quo who was sort of, playing alongside him just to make sure he was able to keep up with the beats and, nothing was missed and so on. And this is the famous show where Joe, finally told the crowd that, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Allen, and the crowd just exploded. Because this is a guy, who's admired by so many drummers and so many musicians around the world and, done so many great things and inspired so many people to, like, pick up the pieces and, and fight back. So this is a very interesting photograph which you can see out here, and of course, the man himself, steaming white lightning, Steve Clark. God bless you, brother. We miss you. Some nice pictures of him over here, and a lot of good trivia, from the band themselves. There's a interesting forward from Joe earlier. There's a nice section from each of the bands, like Rick Savage out here. It's a nice photograph on that side. A lot of guys who I do know have in fact scanned a lot of these pictures and made posters out of them because some of these are a little hard to come by unless you get this book. But I think you guys will enjoy it. I think it's something which is definitely worth the money, if I could use that word. And I think it captures some interesting bits from different parts, and of course my favorite slang. What was happening at that time. I think the band really looked their best. I think with Joe, okay, blowing smoke, but I think this was his best look, if you ask me personally. And I think you'll find that you get some interesting bits of trivia as well. And all in all, I think it's definitely something for you to guys to check out, and definitely something for you to probably want to own yourselves. Because I think that the important thing is that being a Leopard fan, this gives you a good insight into their world and as to about, how we the fans are a part of all of that. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys have it, love to know what you guys have, your views are on the book. And for those guys who are thinking of considering getting it, by all means, please do. It's definitely worth the grab. So hit me back, let me know what you guys think. Take care, guys, and rock on as always.